You wouldn't steal a car, would you? If you had DVDs in the 2000s, just like me, you probably remember headbanging to this bad boy every time it came on. Believe it or not, this specific ad was made to combat piracy. And I know what you're thinking. Look, Joshy boy, I'm no historian, but I'm pretty sure Blackbeard wasn't selling the 7 Cs and blaring Nickelback in 2004. And you would be correct, my friend. Blackbeard said that Nickelback was for normies. He was an avid Creed enjoyer, conquering the seas one day here at a time. Digital piracy was on fire in the early 2000s, and they were trying to stomp it out. Funny enough, this ad made piracy look cool and made the practice actually more popular. Eat your heart out, corporations. But you may be wondering, why am I telling you this? Because internet piracy has made one heck of a comeback. Piracy is on the rise, and it's not stopping for Ranger Rick anytime soon.
And that was without even a single drop of rum.
But really, what even is digital piracy? Well, to explain it properly, you have to put your nostalgia goggles on and head all the way back to the late and great 1990s.
Hey, plumber boy, mustache man, your worst nightmare has arrived.
The story of digital piracy starts in the grandiose year of 1999. Between heading down to your local Blockbuster and shredding some Creed out of the worst looking vehicles man ever made, all of these cars look like they were stung by bees, kids at the time were getting to know the internet. It had been around for a few years, but it was pretty fresh and limited at this time. No TikTok reels or funny cat videos just yet. They had AOL, so that was something. But something new had emerged. Two friends with the same first name had a girthy idea. There was this little thing called peer-to-peer networks. This had been around for a little while, but it was really only used between governments and large corporations. But these boys came in the door and they changed all of that with their little idea. What was the idea, you may ask? A little thing called Napster.
Yes.
Napster was an application that allowed you to send MP3 files back and forth between two pirates' computers. The modern-day 7 Cs, if you will. If Blackbeard could have seen this while jamming out to some Creed, he would have been proud. Napster absolutely exploded and brought the entire music industry to its knees. Why in the name of piracy would you go to some overweight, greasy man's record store and buy music when you could just go home and download it for free off of Napster like a real man?
I am a man.
You would also get complimentary viruses with each download, destroying your family's computer in the process. A small, insignificant price to pay for freedom. But this aforementioned freedom lasted about as long as zebra-striped gum. You see, Napster was 110% illegal. In no way was the US of A going to allow this to go on forever. And wouldn't you know it, in 2001, the site would go offline, killing internet piracy forever. Just kidding. It was about as effective as cutting the head off a 3-headed dragon. When one disappears, 3 more takes its place. You had more sites that meant that they were going to stick it to the man, and that's exactly what they did. You had sites like LimeWire and Kazaa, which were the gateway to the free music drug, and a lot of viruses. And the steady buildup of all of these sites eventually led to the major growth in digital piracy worldwide. Before too long, you had people digitally pirating movies and video games. Heck, people were even pirating digital books.
And it's mine! It's mine!
The corporate boys upstairs tried to fix this problem as much as possible. When it came to gaming, they created something called digital rights management, pretty much making it impossible to play certain games without an online connection to servers. Things like Windows Live and Ubisoft servers would go down in infamy for all of time. These services absolutely sucked dog water because of their poor functionality, and actually ended up making piracy more popular in the end. Funny how that works. Digital piracy would reign supreme until years later it finally had a decent competitor, and that competitor came, alright, at the start of what I call the golden age of convenience. Near the end of the 2000s, a new kid rolled up on the block with his brand new Skechers and affordable pricing. Netflix was the name, and cheap TV was the game. You see, back in the dark ages of cable, if you wanted certain channels to watch, you would have to purchase channel packages that had the channels built in. And because of this specific reason, I never had Boomerang. Screw you, cable.
I hate this place.
But when Netflix rolled up looking like a double-wide surprise, people flocked to it. Netflix was pretty easy to use, and you could watch everything you wanted to on the cheap. It was affordable, and it was just easier than piracy. And you won't absolutely butcher your mom's work laptop trying to watch The Iron Giant.
Hey, that's pretty good.
And on the music side of things, it was even better. Apps like Spotify and Pandora, for the first time ever, allowed users to stream any song in the world from one app. No longer did you have to go to MP3 Skull to download Smack That by Akon, which was actually Never Gonna Give You Up by Rick Astley, and also covered in all sorts of malware. For the first time ever, for a very low price, you could stream high-quality music anywhere at any time. Oh yeah, and it also didn't help during this time that a lot of pirate sites were getting slaughtered by every government and their mom. Anti-piracy laws exploded as the Wild West of the internet was becoming more tame over time. Major torrent sites like Pirate Bay were shut down. Internet providers all came together and were blocking sites like a great purge on the 7 seas. And by the end of the 2010s, what little bit of piracy there was going on was minor. The only thing that I really remember people pirating at this time was anime. For whatever reason, you couldn't watch it on TV, and your parents weren't about to subscribe you to Crunchyroll. What are you, 5? So yeah, most kids that I knew would stream anime on these pirating sites, because that was the only way you could watch Death Note at the time. Back then, most of us didn't even have internet to watch it, so you had people selling DVDs they had burned anime episodes onto for money. That ought to put you into perspective of my age bracket.
How do you do, fellow kids?
But as the internet got more widely available, out here in the sticks anyways, the days of buying DVDs in the back alley like a drug deal soon disappeared. And it seemed like during this time, piracy just disappeared for a while, and we just kind of forgot about it. At this time, it seemed like Uncle Sam had won the war, and there was no place in the world for piracy sites anymore. What's that? Worldwide plague? What are you even talking about? Oh my lord! In late 2019, something insignificant happened that YouTube doesn't like creators to mention, super unimportant, might as well not even happened. No big deal. Just take all that freedom of speech and just chunk it out the window. Well, this minor thing caused the entire world to shut down and pretty much sent the world economy into utter chaos. And instead of hanging out with my friends in public, we were stuck to VR chat. Stuff became hard to get and prices went up. Streaming services also started to jack their prices up at this time as well. It also didn't help that every company created their own version of Netflix because they wanted to be the big dog on the block too. So most of the shows that you might have watched all on Netflix are now scattered across multiple streaming services, and they all cost you more money.
Hello, I like money.
You got Hulu, Disney Plus, HBO Max, Tubi. Wait a minute, you're free. And if you add all that up on top of your internet bill, it actually costs more than cable did back when cartoons were good. Nickel and diamond customers left and right like a good corporation. And it didn't stop with movies and TV, oh no. Video games have had wallets at gunpoint too. Prices got their boots on and they just kept climbing. You add all that up with hardly any good entertainment being made, and you got yourself a recipe for exploration on the 7 seas once again. Piracy is back, baby, and I'd say it's bigger than ever. When it comes to the pirating streaming sites, they actually work better than the streaming services. Video games are a click away from having a 5-finger discount. I mean, music is still affordable, so you can just use Spotify or whatever. And 12-year-old me would be foaming out the mouth with as much access there is to anime now.
You know how long I've been waiting for this?
I wonder what the new anti-piracy ads will be. You wouldn't steal an anime waifu pillow, would you? No matter how many ads they try to put out or websites they try to take down, they will never kill piracy without solving the real problem: cost and convenience. Without getting those two beauties, they're not even going to get close to winning. But until they figure that out, I will 110% totally not see you on the 7 seas.